All right,
Oh
cool. Okay,
no.
no, we good. We straight. We
Oh
good. We
no.
good. No, it's just a sound effect because people be asking me where my fire at. The fire works, so I'm not trying to make it work. But when I want the fire to work, it doesn't work. So we good, Jeff. We just live on my side now. What's happening, Jeff? What's good,
Hey,
sir?
hey. I'm just hanging out, you know. I'm watching the Mavericks. I'm mentally and physically preparing to play Call of Duty when we're done.
All right.
And I'm wearing a straw hat. So it's kind of what I got going on today. Welcome to Scoutcast. Oh my God.
Doski woski peasky we. Anyway, Voch and Jeff up in here. This ain't gonna be a terribly long show because me and Jeff did a gang of work today. But we do kind of want to hit y'all with some hot fire before we before we send y'all to bed tonight. So we just kind of gonna clean up some things, and just when I say cleaning up, that means like I've watched a guy and I may feel a certain way about a guy, but then I'll see something else. Jeff may text me while I'm halfway inebriated, and he'll say something like, "Yo, I don't like this dude that you like," and that'll prompt me to go watch some more, right? Or we may get some more film, and that'll prompt me to watch some more. So that's how we gonna boogie. We're gonna be cleaning up prospects tonight. But first, I gotta make a comment on where I saw this comment at. So Jeff, just kind of hang tight for me, you know what I'm saying, real fast. Because
Oh yeah, sure. We'll just do the Voch show. I'll just kick my feet up. You just do what you want to do, and just let me know when you want me to hang out.
100%, Mr. Whoop. So first of all,
Yeah.
I see everything, you know what I mean? And it's not that I'm just out here looking for things to see. It's just that sometimes I stumble across things and I see things. And I saw this comment somewhere. I just want to make this comment on where I saw this comment at. It's in this Cowboy zone, right? So for anybody that's in the Cowboy zone that's watching us and talking about us right now, I appreciate y'all first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up for y'all first and foremost, you know what I mean? For supporting this thing that we call Scoutkast, this thing of ours, you know what I'm saying? But I kept scrolling because I just wanted to be in tune to the dialogue. I just wanted to be in tune to what the people were saying. And I ran across this comment that I want to address from CNU Ball 21. So if you're in the Cowboy zone, let them know that we're talking about them because we don't want this to fall upon deaf ears. I'm not attacking you. I just want to clean something up for you, sir.
I'll attack.
So we were talking about Micah Parsons, right? And that's going to segue into our linebacker conversation. And we were saying some things along the lines of, hey, I don't like Micah Parsons as much as some of these media guys do. They was just talking about that kind of sort of. And what CNU Ball 21 said, he said, Voch and Jeff are cool, but it's almost like they try to go outside the consensus for attention. Having Micah Parsons at 4 as my linebacker 4 is a joke. So, sir, we don't do things for clickbait. We do a lot of work to have qualified opinions. You know what I mean? I think that if you listen to the media scouts too long, you'll see Shaun Wade as a first round pick. You know what I'm saying? And you'll go, oh, I like Shaun Wade because a media guy says Shaun Wade is a first round pick. But if you watch a film properly, like Voch does, like Jeff does, you'll see that Shaun Wade got a lot of Daryl Worley in him. We're not going against the grain just to be funny on Twitter. I may make a joke that make you laugh, but we're not doing this to go against the grain. When I say that Justin Jefferson is my wide receiver number 2, I don't need clicks. Because I get clicks with integrity, player. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need clicks or just wild takes to get clicks. You know what I mean? When I say Pat Mahomes is quarterback 1, we don't need to manufacture any type of movements or anything to try to get some kind of clout. Because that's what the guys at the top that y'all hate. We're not going to say their names, but the guys on the networks that y'all hate that do these goofy little mock drafts, that's what they do. But we don't do that over here. We don't really get better from just spewing nonsense because we got people in our draft community that'll look at us crazy. John Owning will look at us crazy. Dalton Miller will look at us crazy. Brian Broaddus, David Hellman, Bucky Brooks will look at us crazy if we come out spewing some nonsense, sir. So this ain't just me attacking you. This just me hipping you to what Jeff and Voch do around here. You know what I'm talking about? Jeff, you got something to say on that?
Yeah, sounds like Voch got a little sensitive.
No.
Sounds like Voch got a little sensitive, and no, I don't look. I think if you've got, I don't care. Like that's my thing, and I'm not saying that like in terms of like why'd you bring this up? I don't care. What I'm saying is like people push me on opinions I have on players all the time. I learned, this is my 7th year doing this, and over time I've learned there's literally no value, no point. It brings nothing to the table to just care what other people's rankings are and try to fall in line. What is the point of that? Mm-hmm. Like if you want to, another thing is like my work is in public, 7 years of it. You can find the boards I've put together and they don't look like other people's. And if you want to put it up against whatever national consensus is making you upset about our opinions, I bet I kicked their ass over the last 7 years. So like, I don't care. It's like, I hate the hot take thing. I hate pretty much every national broadcast because their segments are just designed to get reaction so that people will share them. Like I hate everything about that. If you think that any of my draft opinions are for clicks, I think you're an idiot. Like, because I'm like, I'll never say so-and-so is a bad player and not tell you why. Mm-hmm. I'll never say I like this guy better than that guy and not tell you why.
Right.
So unless you think the notes that I'm taking while watching angles that a lot of people don't get to see of multiple games of these prospects, like if you think that I'm just making up traits or making up pluses and minuses, why? Like how are more people going to click? I mean, if anything, it might be less people would click because people are going to think, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Instead of, oh, they actually have knowledge that doesn't line up with what everyone else is telling me. So whatever. It's whatever. Everybody's human. Nobody likes to have their work insulted. I don't like to have my work insulted. Disagreement's great. Anybody wants to disagree, great. But if you want to pretend that we don't do the work and we're not presenting real opinions, screw you, because you're full of it.
Now for the next 15 or so minutes, listen to us tell you why Micah Parsons is not linebacker 1. Jeff, you want to go first? Jeff, you want to go first?
Sure. If you want to do that, if you want to start there, yeah.
Let's do it.
So for me, Micah Parsons he's my 3rd linebacker right now. Okay. And like I say this knowing full well that if Micah Parsons reaches his full potential, that he will be the best linebacker in this class. And we'll look back at it and be like, well, crap, missed it. To me, Micah Parsons is a guy that I think if I were a team that needed a linebacker and I were picking in the teens to late 20s, I'd pick him. Yep. And I'd be like, guys, right away, here's what we got. Yep. We got a dude that can rush the passer, that can run sideline to sideline, they can hit. Like, we got a guy that can do a lot. Physically, he's a monster. My only thing right now is my linebacker 1, some people aren't even going to call him a linebacker. Some people might think he's a safety. Yeah. It's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at Notre Dame. That's my linebacker 1 because I would challenge people with this. What does the prototype linebacker look like in today's NFL? Because I think a lot of people think he looks like Micah Parsons, and I think they're wrong.
Want me to answer?
I think the prototype linebacker looks more like Devin White and Fred Warner and Darius Leonard. And so a lot of these guys are anywhere from 6 foot to 6'3" and anywhere from 210 to 235. Like it's like the LVE's body is not the linebacker prototype anymore. Right. So my linebacker 1 is 6'1", 215 pound Joker from Notre Dame, because I think the most important thing for a linebacker in today's NFL is coverage. Yeah. And JOK is a monster at coverage. He lines up over slots and plays man, no problem. Yep. So I think I could make him be at home as a linebacker and say, look, I got one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL. He's a little small, and he hasn't played all of his snaps as an actual interior off-the-ball linebacker. But the dude understands what offenses are trying to do. He's physical. He's twitchy. He can cover. He can tackle. Like, I don't know what's not to like about him. That's my thing with Parsons is he's just youthful at linebacker. Yep. He's 2 years into this thing, and you can tell when it comes to the coverage aspects of it and consistently diagnosing what's happening right away. So like my buddy Dane Brugler, we talk about this all the time, and he'll tell you NFL teams are drafting traits over production. Yep. And that's why Micah Parsons is going to be the first linebacker off the board, because his traits are awesome. Size, speed, agility, he's got it. Yep. I would have it as I'd be comfortable taking Owusu-Koramoah 15. I'd be comfortable taking Nick Bolton and Micah Parsons both somewhere around 20. So it's not hate to say, oh, I think he's a top 15 to 20 player in this class. It's just saying that I actually like a couple of other guys better because I'm more comfortable with their ability to diagnose and their ability to cover in an NFL where those things are really, really important. That's all.
Fair enough, brother. And there's no that's all today. That's it. That's what it is. Now we're not saying Parsons is a terrible player, and
he might be a Hall of Famer.
Could be a Hall of Famer, and also too, I think there's a difference kind of between like when you're evaluating a prospect and evaluating like how you like a guy, because the idea of Micah Parsons is a top guy. Sure, the notion of him, but it's certain things that I want in my linebackers. Mental processing is big for me. Covering is big for me. I know that Micah Parsons does some pass rushy things, but it's not like a defensive end level pass rushy things. He pass rushes pretty cool for a linebacker. Koramora is a really good safety for a linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he could cover his ass off. You know what I'm talking about? So it's just small things like that that'll make me look at Koramora and say, you know what? I think I like this dude a little bit more. Another thing, somebody that may be pro Parsons, and I'm pro Parsons to an extent, but they may say, well, but Voch, he's only 19 in that film. That's his fault. It's his fault. Because if I'm watching his latest product and that's what I see, I don't know if he got better or not. He could have gotten better, but it goes back to, are you floor guy or are you ceiling guy? Do you feel comfortable shooting dice on that dude? Because I can look at Koramora and I can know exactly what I'm going to do with that dude today. I made a tweet earlier, Jeff. I said, can you imagine drafting Koramora in the first round and drafting Ardarius Washington in the second round? How intense your backfield gets just adding those two dudes, those two little intense dudes that just want to run around and hit people at 1,000 miles an hour. Like, I feel Koramora when I'm watching the film. I don't see Parsons. I mean, I don't feel him in that way. Now, when I'm watching him, like the Memphis game, right? When he's making these sideline to sideline plays and he's running people down, that's impressive. But I go back to that Ohio State game when they started misdirecting the hell out of him. What do? I haven't seen Koramora get misdirected yet. I haven't seen Nick Bolton get misdirected yet. I've seen Zavin Collins get misdirected a little bit, but how I would play him, I would put him in situations where he wouldn't get misdirected very much. He seems like a Sam linebacker to me. So if I'm evaluating, you don't like Zavin Collins, we'll talk about it. But if I'm evaluating Zavin Collins as a Sam linebacker and somebody else is evaluating Micah Parsons as your prototypical Mike, I got a better vision for what I can do with Collins than what I can do with Parsons. So he's fourth. Now, it's January 20th. I know this is a very microwave society, and y'all want answers today, and you want me to drop my top 5 right now. The concrete top 5 won't be here until April. I can change my mind at any moment. But as of now, Parsons is fourth with his athletic, big body built ass. But he's fourth. And he's third for you, Jeff. So Koramora is your 1, Bolton is your 2.
Yes, and Parsons is 3. And I fully and I'm like, this is all part of it. I fully acknowledge that if everybody hits their ceilings, Parsons will be the best.
Sure.
And picking Nick Bolton in front of Micah Parsons in real life, I'd be a little nervous because they'd be like, crap, you guys realize we're doing something that almost no one agrees with, right? But then I'd be like, right, but I know exactly what he's going to do. I know exactly what Nick Bolton is going to do from day one. I can see it on tape. That he's going to watch film more than everyone else, that he's going to know what the other offense is going to do every week. I know it because I see it on tape every snap.
Sure.
So that's just, and it's a ceiling versus floor thing. Nick Bolton could start for an NFL team right now. Mm-hmm. Nick Bolton would go through a COVID offseason and he'd be the one dude that's ready to play in week 1. He could do it. I know that. So yeah, that's just where I am. And with Zavin Collins, I got bad news for you. He didn't fit here.
Tell us why you don't like Zavin. Now, Jeff.
He don't fit here.
Now, Jeff, I'm not evaluating for the Cowboys.
Okay.
Jeff,
okay.
Because this show for everybody.
Okay.
This show for everybody. We run a lot of nickel here, so I don't really foresee him. You know what I'm saying? The more I thought about it, because I always say, late great Black Phillip, have your opinion. Don't let it have you. Zavin Collins is fun. He is fun. I would love to have him on my team. But when I go back and watch and just calm down a little bit, we run a lot of nickel. If you're a team that's gonna run a lot more Sam, then you can run him on that. But Jeff, tell us why you can't stand Zavin Collins, sir.
I like Zavin Collins just fine. You're a jerk.
You text me at it was midnight and I was inebriated. It was like 9 p.m. And you was like, I hate Zavin Collins. So you got to tell me why in front of 500 people in my chat right now. Go ahead, sir.
I don't know what to do with him. I understand what you're saying because he's 6'4", he's 260, he's an incredible athlete. You get him running in a straight line, you get him running people down like it looks amazing. I think he might be an edge. I think he might just be an edge rusher where a 3-4 team picks him and plays him at outside linebacker and tries to pretend he's TJ Watt or something. I think that might be what he is. And maybe it's just because I'm through such a Cowboy lens. I'm like, I don't think that's an off-ball linebacker because I think his movements, and it's mostly because of his size, like he looks incredible running in a straight line, accelerating and doing those things. And even dropping, like I don't think he would be a good coverage linebacker if you told him you had to actually cover somebody. Mm-hmm. But in a generic spot drop, he's so much to throw around or over. And when he's coming forward, it's good. So like, there's a lot of things I really like about him. I just don't know what I'm doing with him. I guess you got to be, because even the 3-4 teams, look, it's 4-3 and 3-4, the same thing basically. Because like you said, everybody plays nickel. Really, everybody's playing a 4-2. Mm-hmm. Whether your guy's hand is on the ground or in there, whatever. And that's why I think he's an edge. I think he's a pass rusher who drops on like 25% of snaps. I think that's what he is. And if you want to take him to do that at the top to middle of the second round, that's about where I would see him.
Let me say what I think is going on with you. I think you're seeing his size and you're super evaluating that. Also, you see him in coverage and you think about it through a Cora Moore lens. I don't think nobody's going to be able to cover as good as Cora Moore. So, so let's get him off the list. He might be the best cover linebacker this year. We'll see. But I think he's solid in space for a coverage linebacker. You know what I mean? Just dropping him back. He doesn't look lost. And if you look at him at 260, don't look at that 260 and expect him to thump people, because that's what I do with offensive line. I can look at Alex Leatherwood and see that he's the biggest human out there, but he starts playing like Jonah Williams. I go, I expected you to be a little more thick than that, but I got to dial it back and just evaluate him as what he is. I go, okay, cool. You're a cool offensive lineman. You just huge, and I thought you would play bigger than that. That happens with me sometimes. So when I look at Zavin, once you get past the fact that he's 260 and just evaluating him running and hitting people, he's really good at running and hitting people, Jeff. Now
he is, but like, are you gonna play him at will linebacker and try to keep him clean and let him run? Because he's good at it. Like that's what he's good at.
Yeah.
But I also think that the tight spaces, or not necessarily tight spaces, but the movements that you've got to make when it's all right, I'm running this way, the running back cut back, it's me and him. Like, I don't think he's a good change of direction. Like it's actually kind of Jalen Smith-ish.
I was going to say Vanderish. Like, if it's a situation where he doesn't have to worry about blockers, like if you're a good D-line having team, if you're the Panthers, you got a really good young D-lineman and you're not worried about blockers getting to the next level, I think you feel really good about Zavin Collins just running and hitting people.
Yeah, I do too. But if I'm going to have the run and hit guy, I want the guy who can cover even better. And that is kind of what I'm comparing him to.
Yeah.
And where I think I ended up really impressed with him a lot of times was the SMU game. For about a 15-play stretch, I feel like he rushed the quarterback 6 or 7 times, and he had a sack or 2 and like 2 or 3 more pressures. And I'm like, I do want him doing that. I want him rushing the passer.
This is my problem with Zavin Collins, okay, is if you watch 3 different games and only watch that game, you'll think that he's 3 different players. Like, you'll have different opinions of him.
But check their schedule, because I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think the game that I saw first was an early in the year game, and I didn't like him.
Yeah.
And then it kept going. So I think it's just literally a progression that we're watching in real time week to week. And so I would view it as a positive.
like he's really weird in one of those early games. But his Central Florida game is ridiculous. I love the Central Florida game. But just like you said, then there's the 3-sack game where he looks like a Joseph Osai type of rushy linebacker type of dude. You know what I mean? And I think that says even more about his upside, because if you can. So we talking about floor and ceiling again, right? The floor is he's a big-ass linebacker that can run and hit people. If you, I guess, dial his weight down and turn that into functional strength, I guess, and then focus on him being better as a pass rusher. I heard some rumors, some beeps, some hotline bling says he's actually working out as an edge and a linebacker, which is smart as hell. If you can harness that, come on, son.
I heard that too, Voch. I heard that too.
We got friends. We got friends.
He's prepping himself for, I guess, not the combine, but for workouts and everything, for whatever they're going to do. Yeah. He's preparing himself to work out as a linebacker and as an edge, which is smart.
How fire?
He's a talented dude.
How fire would that be, Jeff? Come on, son.
He's good. Yeah, we'll pick him there in right there at the top middle of the second, like with an extra pick we got from a trade down. It'd be great.
You love these 220-pound cats. That's fine.
I love little linebackers. Let's go.
Okay, so if Parsons is your 3, is Collins your 4, or do you have some other miscellaneous guy you've been watching that for?
Collins is my 4 for now, but the way I look at these linebackers, I feel like I have a top 3, and then I'll let you know, because there's so many guys. Like I got some tape I want to watch on Werner and Browning from Ohio State. I haven't done them yet. I want to watch Cox from LSU. I've watched Surratt. He's not going to be my 4th linebacker. So I'm in the market for a linebacker 4, but for now, yes, it would be Zavin Collins. But I look at it more through a Cowboys lens. So I'm thinking of him more like an edge.
Okay. We have time to finalize this. You like to name drop your friends, your good friend Dane Brugler. I like to name drop my good YouTube friends. Foot's the King, he's in the chat box right now. Brandon from Frankly Football, he's another draft guy that I'm developing faith in. Me and Foot's been doing this for a while. Brandon's kind of relatively new to me, so we gonna grow my little community up. You know what I'm saying? But Foot's is saying that you're crazy on your Zavin Collins take. We'll cross that road later on when we later in March or something. We'll just cross that road.
I would, you know what I would advise him?
What's that?
Just wait. I'll say crazier shit. It's going to happen. There's going to be things that people disagree with, and I'm going to be wrong on people, and I'm going to be right on people, and I'm going to be real loud about the ones I'm right on, and other people are going to be real loud about the ones I'm wrong on, and we'll work it out. I want to bang through a couple things just real quick here, Voch. I want to say hi to Senior Chicken, who just said talk to him from earlier when we were talking about the people who were talking about us negatively. I appreciate you, my friend, and I want to say hello to Lamont, who said, have you watched film on James Wiggins from Cincinnati? And then I had to apologize to Lamont because the answer is no. So I can't wait till I get there, and you'll be the first one I tell all about it. I appreciate you, Lamont.
Also have a shout out to Senior Chicken, dropped the deuce in the super chat. Appreciate you. He says Dak is better than Watson. I agree, man. I've been fighting this whole Dak is better than Watson thing for a good little bit. So good to see you on the team there, sir. And number 2, he's just liking my camera setup. Appreciate you, my guy. That deuce is very much so appreciated. And we got Adrian Lindsay, man. He dropped 5 up in there. He says, do you know Grant Hermans? Nope. But if he in this draft, I'll know him by the time the year over with. Believe that. So I apologize to you as well. There's a big conversation to be had about these safeties at TCU, brother Jeff. I got a chance to finalize my thoughts on brother Ardarius. So I think the 2 best safeties in this class come from TCU in my mind. Okay.
Me too.
I think Morig is the better regular free. But as I watched film on TCU, I felt like Ardarius was the better football player, but they kept using him wrong, Jeff. They kept using him wrong. In my mind, Ardarius Washington is little bitty. So him being little bitty, you can't put him in situations where he's compromised for being little bitty. Now, I think guys like Bob Sanders he crawled so that Buda Baker can crawl, and so that what's his name, Winfield can walk, so that guys like, you know what I'm saying, Washington can fly, the little bitty safety dude. My thing about Ardarius, if he's being rangy, runny safety dude, he's cool. If he's being super intense, aggressive, come up from depth to hit you in the run game, dude, he's cool. I really hate it when they make him man cover people. I hate when they make him man cover people that's way bigger than him. It's times you'll be watching the film, especially in the red zone. It'll be some tight end. It'll be some person in the nickel, and he'll line up in there, and they'll either rub route him, they'll put him in traffic, or they'll just like try to body him. And I'm like, bro, he's 5'8". Why do that? But then 5 plays later, it'll be like a big depth play, like he'll be deep thirds or something, and he's making those plays on the sideline. He's making those zone coverage plays. He's coming up smacking the hell out of somebody. Somebody will catch an interception, and he's sprinting to go make a block to go be intense somewhere, you know what I'm saying, just to go knock somebody out on while Morig is jogging, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm like, damn, Ardarius is the better dude, but if TCU used him properly, I could prove it. But they're
I think I can prove it. I think he's literally better at everything than his own teammate who's going to be picked before him.
Go ahead.
And his teammate is 6'1", 207, and Ardarius Washington is 5'8", 178. Mm-hmm. I think Ardarius probably gets guys to the ground more often when he has a chance to tackle. Mm-hmm. He's absolutely more physical.
Sure.
He's absolutely quicker, faster, more explosive. Insane. He's absolutely instinctually ahead of Merrick on every single play. Mm-hmm. He's a better man cover guy. Washington, look, I don't want to have hot takes. I don't. But you know who I see when I watch Ardarius Washington?
You said it.
Huh?
You said Buda Baker's what you said?
I see Honey Badger.
Honey Badger, my bad. Honey Badger. Go ahead.
That's what I see.
Honey Badger.
I mean, look, and you have to acknowledge this is the balance part of this conversation. You have to acknowledge to yourself, and if you were like working for a team or whatever, you'd have to say, look, I understand. If we took this guy at pick whatever, he's going to be probably technically the smallest starting safety in the history of the NFL.
Sure.
So we're picking a guy who I'm just telling you is an outlier. I'm just standing here and telling you, forget everything you know about what a safety looks like and trust me. This dude's physical. He's a dog. He's instinctual. He can cover, man, zone. He's not going to be a great tackler just because your tackle radius is limited when you're 5'8", but he will cut your legs out. He will hit you in the mouth. If you wanted to play slot corner for the next 8 plays, no problem. The slot dude ain't getting open. I love him. I can't stop.
I don't love him as much in man coverage versus people that's longer than him.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you put him on a 6'5" tight end, that's on you.
Yeah,
but if you
they
walk
do that
him down
to
on
him.
that,
but they do
if
that.
You
to
walk
him.
him.
Go ahead. Go.
How often? I don't know how often because I mean I've watched 4 games of his, 2 in 19 and 2 in 20.
Yeah,
and I don't know that I saw a pass completed on him.
I was watching some broadcast like really early, and then I came back and watched the, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
okay.
But it happens though. It happens. And in my mind, Morig deals with the longer people better because he's a longer guy, so that makes sense. But as a pure I'm like, man, I wish they would use Washington a little better and stop putting him in these weird little situations. Because that dude I want that dude on my team. Like I said earlier, you put his little intense ass on your team and just put him somewhere. Put him anywhere.
Well, and people talk about ball production with guys in the secondary, and I'm all for that because a lot of times that translates. So like in 2019, Ardarius Washington had 4 or 5 picks, and in 2020 he had none and like 3 passes defended. Yeah. And people are like, well, why didn't he have the ball production? And my answer is go watch the games. The answer is they want no part of him. Yeah. That dude is 5'8", and people are going to tell me, well, 5'8", he can't play. Yeah. Nobody throws at the 5'8" dude. Yeah. Nobody. Yeah. They go bombs away on the corners. They attack those corners. They'll throw at Merrick. They don't look at the 5'8" dude. He's really good. And I think we both love the dudes that are like dogs.
Yeah.
Washington is a dog.
Yes, sir.
5'8", 178. And if you are 6'2", 230 and you're carrying the ball, he's going to blow out your knee or he'll try to knock your ass over. He is not afraid of anything, and I like him so much.
Let me see.
And Merrick's good too. My thing with Merrick is a lot of his like bat downs are, I'm like, man, they could have easily called PI on you. It's a lot of stuff where he's kind of sitting down as a safety and he ends up playing man on a guy and he kind of catches him. Mm-hmm. And then they're going in or out or they're turning around and he'll play the ball. So, like, I get why he would be people's top safety because he's got a little bit of everything. Right. He's got the size you want. He's athletic enough. He's got the ball production. He can play up. He's not a great tackler, but he's physical enough that he could be a good tackler and a reliable tackler. Sure. So I get it. But Washington's my guy. He's my safety number one, and he's all 5'8" of them.
I like it because I think he can play free and strong. I think his little ass can line up in the box and just go hit people. I like him a lot, man. He's a lot more versatile, very instinctual, man. So I think it's a difference between instincts and IQ. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to find a really good way to explain it and like do a video on it or whatever. But I think he has both. Like he's instinct and he's high IQ dude. He sees things prior to it happening, but then he feels his way into shit, if that makes sense. Like he'll just gravitate in some direction and end up by the play.
One of those, there's a couple of those plays in the 2020 game. I think it's Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, yeah.
Where you watch Washington. Mm-hmm. And his responsibility is clearly like the deep middle or over here on the underneath. And you'll watch him looking at the quarterback. He knows his guy's covering. The ball's not going to come here. And he'll notice whatever the quarterback is thinking. And he'll know whatever route it is behind him and from where. And he will immediately, before the ball is wound up and thrown, he lets his dude go. He's on a perfect track before his head's even around to cut off a route that there's no way you would know exactly where that guy is, but he does.
If you were tuned into my Patreon earlier, we were actually watching that play. That was the play. It was like a deep post, and he was in the middle of something. And I think it was Morig that was covering him, and Morig got turned around, and the deep post was open. But Washington was like, but he got there quick though. Like he saw it and he quick. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bruh, this dude sees it, and I want that dude on my team, Jeff. I want that dude on my team. I want that dude on my team.
That's why I keep trading down because. Mm-hmm. And here's the other thing. Is I feel like some people, tell me if this happens to you, I'll talk a guy up, and then I'll put him in a mock draft in the third round for me, and they're like, you can't get him there. And I'm like, wait, I'm the one who told you how good he is. You don't get to tell me where the 5'8" safety's going. I'm going to be doing a draft show tomorrow on DallasCowboys.com, and I already know one of the topics. We're going to fight about Ardarius Washington because Dane didn't put him in his top 100 prospects, and I said, you're wrong. But he is very clued in to what the NFL thinks about players. Ardarius Washington might get picked in the 5th. I have no idea. I'm taking him in the 3rd round in every mock draft.
How crazy would that be if we could get him in the 5th? It's not going to happen, though. But, too bad you don't shout me out on your little, show that you shout Dane Brugler out over here, but you don't shout me out over there. So I got a question, though, Jeff.
Shout you out on 105.3 The Fan, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, Voch.
Listen, man, what you want me to say? Okay, so Peter's out, Jeff. Peter's out. So you're saying you do mocks for Ardarius in the 3rd.
Yep.
But you think higher of him.
I mean, I graded his tape as a first-round player.
If you take mock draft simulators away, because my man's Lil Missile, Maryland, Green Bay, Darnell Savage. Darnell Savage was another little guy that you could be like, oh, he's little. He'll go 2nd round, but he goes late first. So if you really like Ardarius, where do you take him?
I think if you really like him and if like the team were going to listen to my plea, you'd have to take him with your 2nd round pick in where are they going to be there? What are they 10? Like 40,
42?
42? Yeah.
Something like that.
42. Like I would imagine he'll make it at least that far because he's 5'8", because he's 5'8". That's why he'll make it that far. And that's just the thing is you don't know because the NFL is wild. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to say we won't pick him, period. And so he might be a 4th or 5th round guy, even though he's my favorite safety.
Ardarius or Nick Bolton? In that range at 42. Ardarius and Nick Bolton.
Bolton.
Damn.
He's safer. He's safer.
Shit, Jeff.
Because I know that Washington is an outlier, and I'm banking on it. And so we're just weighing risk here because I'm taking a risk.
I think Washington's a better player.
He might be, but he's 5'8".
He's 5'8".
So now I'm arguing against myself. He's 5'8".
Look at you. Washington or, let's say, Joseph Osai.
Golly, you're picking a really good range.
These are conversations. This is what it's going to be like. It's going to be just like this. Go ahead.
I think Washington's the better player.
You a coward, Jeff. Jeff, so this dude. Okay, so look, I see it in your face, Jeff. I've heard you talk about Osai. I've heard you talk about Bolton. You don't smile like you talk about Washington, Jeff. So you like Washington.
He's 5'8".
Who cares? If he's Buda Baker, who cares?
That's how I get to get him in the second round. Osai is an edge rusher that's going to get picked in the top 30 to 35. You got to jump on those. There's additional value here.
I think it's a possibility that Osai's rawness probably gonna land him late first, early second, and that's what we talking about Washington. I think that range of 25 or so guys, I think is valid. I think
that's why you need multiple picks there. That's why Captain Trade Down exists. That's why I'm trying to trade down so that I can get. I'm picking at 20, right? Mm-hmm. I moved from 10 to 20, and moving from 10 to 20 means that I also got another one there in the second. And so now at 20, you can start kicking out all these names we're talking about and say, which one's not going to last? Mm-hmm. Pick him. Then take the next one. Then take the next one. And it's just, you're right though. Yeah. Ardarius Washington's literally my favorite prospect in this draft so far.
And you out here window dressing, dog. And you gonna
miss out. Favorite.
And you gonna miss out on that dude because somebody's gonna be like, you know what? Antoine Winfield is making plays in the playoffs. Goddamn it! I'm taking the little bitty safety. If he could play, I'm taking the little bitty safety.
I didn't window dress it too bad. I got him in the first. I'm not putting him in. He's 1, and Merrick is 2, and Nasir-Ildeen is 2, and no other safeties in the first 2 rounds for me.
2 more.
It is Washington, then Merrick, and Nasir-Ildeen, and that's it.
2 more. Washington or Marvin Wilson?
Washington.
Washington over Marvin Wilson. That's interesting. And you haven't watched too many offensive linemen yet, so I'll just hold off on Leatherwood. Have you seen Leatherwood yet?
I've watched him live, and I started to watch 1 game of his. I like him. Don't worry about it. I think he's a top 40 Washington.
Yeah, Washington. I feel you on that.
5'8" safety though. Hold on, shout out time. Cody is a truck driver. I listen every day to both you guys. I'm subscribed and got the noties on. Move C-Will to swing tackle and get Brown, the Alabama guard, in the 3rd. Yay or nay? Thanks. Brown's the giant, right? Like 350 pounder.
Deontay Brown is amazing, and he's my favorite player in this draft.
Okay, so there you go. It sounds like the answer to your question is yes. It sounds like now C-Will isn't necessarily the starter there though. You might worry about Connor McGovern being your left guard, and Haley 94 Ware is coming through every day or every week. Forgot to ask Voch about the cat. Dang it, Voch, what's going on with the cat? Haley 94 Ware needs to know.
The cat is in cat jail. She is in her kennel with a lot of snacks, watching TV, so that she doesn't think she's in there by herself with the air conditioner and the light on. So she cool. Haley 94 Ware Gregory also came over here. He says, can we go get them both? I want both of the TCU safeties. We can have whatever we want. You can have whatever you like. Jeff, can we have both TCU safeties? I don't think it's possible, but if it's a situation where
it's possible.
Where you can get Morig in the second and you hope that the little bitty safety thing pushes what's his face to the 3rd round.
Yeah, you could get. I don't think Ardarius Washington will go in the first 2 rounds. I really don't. Just because I feel like I know the NFL, and I know that between 20 and 25 of those teams are going to say, "Don't talk to me about that 5'8" safety until the 3rd day of the draft."
You like to shoot dice in the hood, Jeff? Come on, man, take your.
No, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm saying, is it possible? Sure, it is, because it's possible you could pick him in the 3rd. And is it possible, even if you like him and you don't want to play that game, that you could do it? Sure. You move down once. Once you've moved down once, you pick Merrick in the 20s. And then you either pick Washington at 44 or you package something and you come up because you got 10 draft picks. You can make this happen if you want them. You can get them both.
Oh, Jeff, I'm just dying slowly, man. You're killing me. It's all good. And my homeboy, Robbie Radford, the very cultured Robbie Radford, he says, Voch, who you looking at? Who you looking to bum around after the Senior Bowl? The Senior Bowl is going to be incredible this year because it's like everybody going to be there. So y'all definitely going to get some good-ass Senior Bowl coverage. And my favorite player, Deontay Brown is going to be in the Senior Bowl playing left guard, beating the hell out of people. So that's going to be fun. Tyree Gillespie is going to be in the Senior Bowl. All the Alabama kids look like Leatherwood's going to be there. And also, too, this isn't a Cowboys show. But if you're a Cowboys fan, You need Mac Jones to show up and have some damn, make some monies, because you talk about some cap and trade down, right brick on my brick, them shirts gonna go right back on sale, because 4 quarterbacks in the top 10 is one thing. If Mac Wilson can get rid of "you're only a product of Bama," if he can get rid of that and make some great throws and look great in the Senior Bowl, and Senior Bowl has this record of quarterbacks going there and emerging and being great. If Mac Jones ends up being in that conversation for you, and somebody, it won't be like a 4th overall brick trade back that you get, but if you get a little bit of anything for the 10th overall pick just to get some more seconds and the pick in the 20s, do that. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Hope that Mac Jones has an incredible Senior Bowl.
Yep.
Hope that lots of people have incredible Senior Bowls and build a bunch of value. I mean, they did the dudes that Jim Nagy is getting out there. Devontae Smith is going. Najee Harris is going.
Yes.
Now Devontae's hurt, so I think he's just going to do like the meetings and get to know the Dolphins coaching staff in case they want to pick him third.
Yeah. But
he gets monsters out there.
Both of the Pittsburgh pass rushers, Jones and Weaver's going to be there. Most of the Bama offensive line are going to be there. Dickerson is hurt, so I mean he may show up and just say hey, but he's not going to be playing the court. He may do the victory formation at the end, because that's just kind of what he does. But should be fun. We're gonna cover a lot of that on my channel, and on Jeff's channel. He does some of the things that I don't have the patience to do, like mock draft simulators. He does them every night. And
that's not patience, sir. That's passion and love. And I just want to take a second to make sure, because it sounds like Voch is feeling a little neglected. I just want to make sure that everyone that is watching right now,
that's crazy.
If you're on my channel, please subscribe to Voch. Turn on the notifications.
Wow.
Take care of that man. He feels like I'm not, promoting him enough. And I want you to know that if he really wants it,
I'm bougie.
I'll let him be the Andre in Scoutkast. I will. So subscribe.
All I want from you, Jeff, because I feel like I truly made it if you say this, while you arguing with Dane Brugler, I just want you to say, me and my good friend Voch Lombardi, just like you say his name over here, I want you to
okay. See, because over here, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I bring him up in this setting is because I think you and I both, what we do is we watch the guys, and you're going to get unfiltered exactly what we think about the guys.
Right.
I think Dane is influenced a lot by NFL scouts, GMs, and stuff like that. So I really use him as like a sounding board for what might the draft look like. I'm going to tell you what I think about the players, but I think he's a good sounding board for what might the draft look like, because he's talking to those NFL people. I'll tell him hey, Dane, you're stupid about this player. Voch and I think that you're stupid. So stop listening to other people.
One last thing before we wrap up, since we talking about Dane and the media guys, and I see Daniel Jeremiah talk about this all the time. How much do you think it's killing them to talk nicely about Russo?
I mean, surely some of them have to believe it, right?
Are Darius Washington at 42 or Greg Russo at 42?
Washington.
That's what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And
Rousseau is the ultimate. I believe you would say shooting dice in the hood.
In the bathroom, yeah.
Rousseau is the ultimate. Well, he's tall, and I think he'll run a good 40. And man, if he runs like a good 3-cone time, then sweet. Here we go. We got some traits. That's what Rousseau is. It's a dude that's like, oh, cool. Look, that body looks like it's going to be a good football player.
Sure.
It's the ultimate dice roll.
Sure. Not for me, man. Not for me. Anyway, this is a shorter, abridged episode of Scoutkast. This thing almost went 1 hour anyway, because Jeff got passionate about our Darius and Mike.
Oh yeah. And I told Voch I was tired. I was like, man, I made a video this morning. I did 5 hours of radio. I'm not let's just do a short one tonight. And then we started talking, and this is what happens, because that's what happens when you talking draft is easy. It's easy. The time flies. Yeah. I've always said that about the draft. It more than any other thing in sports, it's the easiest thing to fill hours with if you've got multiple people who know what they're talking about, and you'll never know where the hell the time went. Yeah. So
fair enough. I just had a little thought too, also, while we're at it, which is a good idea. I got a whole gang of people in my chat box Jeff got a whole gang of people in my chat box. I kind of just want to have this little, I don't want to call it a mission because that ain't what it is, but I do some work for Yahoo Sports Canada or whatever, and I badly want these people to give me a draft show, right? Like we just do more football now, and that's almost over with because football season is almost over with. But I'm like, hey, man, y'all need to give me a draft show because I'm better at draft than 32-team NFL. So, hey, I'm about to drop this link because a little episode dropped today or whatever. I'm about to drop this link in our chat boxes or whatever. If you rock with Voch and Jeff, how about you go to this link that I'm about to drop in these chat boxes, in Voch's and Jeff's chat box, and just be like, hey, let Voch and his friend do a draft show in the off season to get us paid so we can get this little money so we can give y'all some good content. You know what I'm talking about? So
do it. Drop it in. Drop the link.
So
Taco Man said this is a Cowboys show though.
Nope.
I mean this is a show. I mean it's just two dudes talking about the draft. We both happen to have a lot of Cowboy following, so it tends to be Cowboy intensive at times, but you can ask me about any team, any player, any fit, whatever you want, and Voch and I are going to be all over it, Taco Man. Appreciate you.
I got Dolphins fans, Vikings fans. I got all kinds of people in my chat box. It's for everybody. We just happen to be Cowboys fans, and we just, lean that way. But yes, I just dropped that link in both those descriptions. They don't know who the hell Jeff is. But if you just say Voch and his friends need creative freedom to have a little show on Yahoo, that'll be nice if we get like 300 comments on that. It ain't gonna be 300 comments, but like 150 comments.
Oh, it can be 300 comments.
Let's see.
Come on, everybody.
Let's see. Let's take Scoutkast to new heights. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, that's Jeff Kavanaugh, JC1053 on Twitter. You can catch him every day, 1053 if you're on the radio and all that good stuff. I'll be on YouTube either chilling or being lazy or just dropping some film or something. And if you wanted to see the film version of my thoughts and analysis, it's on my Patreon. So for less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can just drop $1 a month. You can get access to all that. Patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I also got a Jeff Kavanaugh thing I'm going to talk to Jeff about when we hang this thing up. So y'all can't hear it, but for me and Jeff to just hear it about Patreon. But Patreon is dope, so go over there and check mine out. Y'all hold it down for the Doski, Woski, the P-Ski, Whiskey, man.
Hey, time out. Where's that link? I want to put it in my chat box. We got, a couple hundred people in here. I can send them to it.
I have dropped it in your chat already. It's been floated. It's floated a little bit, but it's in there. I'll drop it again. I'll just hit paste and boom, there it goes right there. I just dropped it again. There you go. It's right there.
Why don't I see it? Am I drunk?
You might
Whatever.
You might be drunk because I dropped that. Let me drop it one more time, and then there you go, right there. Voch Lombardi, right there in your chat box, right there.
I don't see literally anything in my chat box from you. Oh, is it like in the comments on the video? Is that where it is? In the comments,
it's in the live. It's in the live chat. It's in the chat.
Nobody can see it.
Ain't that a bitch? Why you got me blocked on your channel, Jeff? Hold on.
I don't have you blocked on. Everybody's saying I don't see it. Send me the link in like a Twitter DM, and then I'll post it in my chat box.
Okay.
Because clearly you've blocked yourself. I got these people. I got 190 people standing by, and everybody's going to go make a comment and say, Voch got to do a draft show. Voch got to do a draft show. Voch got to do a draft show. Make sure Voch does a draft show. There we go. Y'all see me showed up. Whoops. Your thing that said y'all see me showed up. This is the beauty of doing okay, is it this YouTube link you sent me?
Yeah.
Okay, watch it. We're gonna copy that.
And I just pinned mine to the top of my chat box, so if y'all need to see it, it's up there. Go hit that link, run over there, and look, don't all say the same thing like it's all orchestrated and shit, but just say something roughly along the lines of, hey, Voch and his friends should have a draft show on this platform.
Hey, I love what Voch does with the draft. I've been watching him do draft stuff. Man, y'all really need to have a draft show. Voch is amazing at the draft.
You know what I'm saying? So, Jeff, you got anything else you wanted to plug? You about to play Warzone or something?
No, I've been done. I've been done forever. I'd just like to say to all my haters, without you, there is no me. And so I appreciate you guys. Motivation.
Shouts out to Cowboy New York as well, because when Buddy was talking crap, he was kind of holding us down. So over in Cowboy Zone, shouts out to Cowboy, and shouts out to everybody on Cowboys Reddit too that hold it down for us. We got a little following over there too, so shouts out to y'all.
Yeah, Cowboys Reddit is good people. I did a Ask Me Anything over there one time.
Ooh.
Because you know what I'm up to, right? I'm trying to infiltrate.
Mm-hmm.
everything, everywhere.
All social media.
I started posting some videos over there in the Reddit, and some people were like, "Hey, the guy from the radio," and I was like, "Hell yeah, what's up, guys?" Like I'm trying to get everywhere. Voch is trying to get everywhere. Basically, we want to take the world over, and it's starting right here, and then you'll see.
Hey, man, y'all was here first. Y'all get to be here, you know what I'm saying, before we get into the 6 digits of this thing, before we get the $1 million plaque that's going to be on that wall. I'm going to be in a different place. But on that wall, I'm going to have the $1 million plaque, and y'all get to be here before it gets here. So salute to y'all. Now I think we wrap the show up. Now I think we get out of here and let Jeff get some sleep. Now y'all hold it down for the Doski, Wojski, and the